Hey guys, it's Daniel with Hard Lens Media. So I wanted to do an additional video, and we're going to be doing these periodically to just reevaluate and explain what's happened with the channel, why this logo is above my head, and what we need you to do. So here's basically what happened in a nutshell. If we pull up the chart from Social Blade, this is what shadow banning looks like. You could see it used to be that we were getting actually really good views, very good growth. If you actually scroll down to the bottom of that page, a little lower, keep going. Yeah, those two right there. You can literally see the month in which this happened. You see our growth. You see, and this isn't that part right at where September is, where it starts rising, is when we moved into the new studio. So you could see the growth in terms of number of viewers a month, and then the same with subscribers. Then you see like that, it's just turned off. And, you know, when we first had this happen, we were like, is this just because of the election that's happening? Is it other things? And sadly, if we actually scroll back up to the other graphs up top, right there, there's two right there. See, if Gunnar can actually mouse over the the total weekly video views graph, the red one, and just, yeah, mouse forward, you see it's growing, just growing pretty consistently, and then keeps going and drops. And then it basically just hovers at 20,000 views. Now, it's one thing if, like, you know, we start losing patrons. It's one thing if, you know, we have viewers that say, hey, your content's no longer good. But we still are growing in patrons. We still have people that are very happy with the content we provide. And also with subscribers, you can see there, it's even worse. That's really the big one that hit us. So it's just done. No growth. We've been at the same number of subscribers for like 2 or 3 months. This has happened with a number of other channels that we've worked with in the past. With Mikasa Tsukasa, you can look at their channel and see basically the same kind of graph. Convo Couch, it's actually also seeming to happen with Jimmy Dore. We actually had someone recently on the show whose channel just took the same kind of hit. This is the MO of YouTube. We could pull the camera back on me. That this is the MO of YouTube that we've seen in a number of other channels. So what do we have to do? Well, we have to adapt. It's that simple. If we don't adapt, our channel continues to follow. Another thing that was very sad to see is that we used to have, you know, 500 live viewers every single live stream, then 400, then it's 300, then 200, 100, and then we, of course, had those periods, if you guys watched the live streams, where YouTube would just pull us off the search. You couldn't even find the live stream unless you went to our channel and then specifically looked on a certain part of the page, and then you could click it. Otherwise, YouTube wasn't even sharing Hard Lens Media. And I think the reason this happened was after the election, we covered the pandemic. And YouTube didn't like that. And we really didn't have much else to cover, so we covered the pandemic. Then we covered everything that happened with the aftermath of Floyd's death. And I think that the algorithm just decided, I think it already decided, that we were not useful for YouTube because we're too controversial. So, again, what do we do to fix that? So, we have the guy right above you, HLM. So, if you are a fan of Hard Lens Media, if you watch our content, you're like, where do you guys go? That's where we went. We went to HLM. We're just spreading out the content so it's not all political that will get us around the algorithm, which is what we have to do, sadly. In addition, because there's no place on YouTube for our content on police brutality, foreign wars, anything of that nature. So what we decided to do on that front is we have a Rockfin account. We also have our Patreon account. And we're posting the stuff that we can't post on YouTube to those. It really, really upset me that we had to put this stuff behind a paywall. But this is not what we ever wanted to do. But YouTube forced our hand. And we're not allowed to put it on our own channel because we get punished for it. So we're forcing to put it on those two platforms. If you're a patron already, you're going to see a lot more content on Patreon, and a lot of it's going to be the exact same. There's going to be a little different. There's more content that's coming to patrons, of course, because we love our patrons. But there's basically going to be a very much an overlap in content. So if you're a patron, you've subscribed to our Patreon, don't worry. This stuff's going to come to you. Don't worry. It already has, actually. And same with Rockfin. And so now, in addition, we know a lot of people have been asking us for a long time, hey, can you cover more Chicago stuff? You guys are Chicagoans. would you cover more Chicago stuff? So we made another channel that we're currently gearing up, which is difficult in the pandemic, that's going to be covering Chicago-specific topics. And so that's where we're at. We have had to abandon this channel that we have worked on for years, and we've had to start over. But it's not all that bad. You know why? We have our patrons. We have our supporters who still care about what we do. And we're going to rebuild. Here's the crazy thing. We have gained more subscribers in the last 2 weeks on the HLM channel. And even I just looked before I started filming, the daily amount of subscriber increase that we've had to this channel is more than Hardlands Media gets in a month, just in a day on the new channel. It's really depressing. But we're not going to stop. We're Hardlands Media. We're going to give you the news. We just got to break it apart. That's all it is. So controversial stuff, sadly, has to go behind Patreon, Rockfin. More general stuff. So that's a mix of stuff we already cover. A lot of the horse race stuff, a lot of other stuff, with some new topics. It's going to go to HLM. Now, the other cool thing about HLM that's going to be happening, we're still gearing up. Every single person is now going to be doing 2 live streams or recorded videos a week. So, like, for example, if you were a fan of John, TCK Punk, who was on Friday, until his work schedule changed, because we're all working 2 jobs to make this happen. Well, he's going to be able to do live streams now. Jerome, who has been out because of the pandemic, he's been doing live streams now. And so our goal was that with this change, we don't lose anything. We actually gain. You're going to get more content from more people, more perspectives. We're going to have the same stuff that I know you want to hear from us behind the scenes with Patreon and Rockfin. We actually have a new way to do super chats because we're kind of trying to cut out YouTube as much as we can. Because let me tell you something. Patrons at this point make about 65. Well, I'm actually going to say this. Before we made the transition, patrons were making about 65% of our income. YouTube ad revenue was making about 5%. Where historically, YouTube ad revenue made about 55%. So just putting that out there. So, and then we also have 2 really cool channels that I've been working on behind the scenes that we're going to be announcing at a later time. So again, I just want to be clear with everyone as to what's happening here at Hardlands Media. We're not going anywhere. We're simply segmenting ourselves out to deal with YouTube and to create more content from more perspectives, what we always promised we would do. And so I would just ask, if you haven't already, here's what you can do. Go to our new channels. We're going to have them in the description down below. Subscribe to both of them. Chicago Corner is warming up. Don't expect too much content from us right away, but we are trying very hard as quickly as we can to gear up HLM. And I got to say, we've had to restart this Hardlands Media 4 times now for different reasons. But every time that we've done it, we've always found that we get new fans, same old supporters, and we excel beyond what we've done before. In this last version of Hardlands Media that you're watching on this channel, we changed elections in Chicago. We had over 700 interviews with elected officials, activists. We accomplished a lot. So I ask you, join us for the next chapter. See what we do next. First 2 interviews we've had have been 2 presidential candidates, Libertarian Party and Green Party. The content, I've been so happy to see what everyone's been producing. Join us. We'll see you there.